Hello, welcome. It's me, Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. How is everyone? Welcome to the weekly transits. We are going to break down a lot today. A lot of North nodes, not North nodes, but nodes situation. Mercury enters Scorpio this week. And yeah, I feel like we're really going to get into Pluto too, because Pluto is squaring Mercury. It's squaring the sun. So yes, Pluto and Scorpio energy is strong this week. We're going to be feeling that. But first, let me tell you to please subscribe, like, and comment. Do your due diligence as a YouTuber, as a YouTube watcher to help me get paid. This helps my videos. I have low videos because I do put that is not for children because I like to say whatever I want to. And I know that a lot of YouTubers don't do that. I don't care. I'm not here really for the numbers. I know I said just like, subscribe, and all that stuff. It does help me. At the same time, I'm here to do my gift and my talents. And this is not for kids. I have kids and they can watch something else. Okay. So that is what I have to say. Also, I have a podcast. So go ahead and check out my podcast. This is where this one really is not for kids. But in my podcast, I really talk about the current events in astrology and tarot together. The last podcast episode, I discussed the war with Israel and the attack on Israel. And I did not talk about the other side as much, but look forward to that. That will be coming. Also, we're in October, so go ahead and check out a pick a card if you're into tarot. Also, we had an eclipse, so go ahead and check out that if you are into tarot. So let's get started with the week here. And first, let me show you our wonderful transits that we have. Let me see if I can do this smoothly. I did. There are the transits of the week. Go ahead and screenshot them. And I am in your screenshot. So yeah, we do have some node issues going on the 18th. Not much happening in the top of the week, more towards the end of the week. But yes, so now every week, which I just started a few weeks ago, I like to do the moon report. Okay, so this is the moon. We have a Scorpio moon coming, and Sagittarius moon. Scorpio moon is today, Sagittarius moon, Capricorn moon, and Aquarius. I spelled Capricorn wrong there. Okay, so let me add this to here so you can see the exact days, and we are going to start it on the 16th. 16th, we have a Scorpio moon. Can you guys see that? I want to make sure. Okay, so on the 16th, we have a Scorpio moon. It doesn't matter the placement, okay? But there it is there. So we have the Scorpio moon, and the Scorpio moon is about intense emotions, okay? Whenever there's Scorpio moon, I always be like, okay, it's emotional. It's going to be emotional times now. And anytime we have a moon, we're talking about our emotions, our reactions, and our overall mood. And the reason why I do a moon report is because the moon moves really fast. So it goes through a lot of aspects in relation to all the planets. So that's why Cancers are known to be moody, because the ruler is the moon, and the moon is a very moody celestial being. Okay, so now on the 18th, is that the 18th or the 16th? On the 16th, we have that Scorpio moon, which I am filming this today. So you may have deep, intense emotions. You may be experiencing strong feelings, especially when it comes to trust, intimacy, and power. This is about addressing your fears with this moon: jealousy, possessiveness, obsessiveness, and all depending on your personal chart, how it connects to that, and emotional self-control. All that needs to be practiced and be aware because you have those triggers there. So now let's go on to when that moon changes, which it changes tomorrow on the 17th to a Sagittarius moon, and it's very optimistic, very adventurous, a time for exploring some new adventures, experiences, both mentally and physically, freedom and independence. You may feel that more with this moon and this transit. usually encourages positive outlook and spontaneous energy and a sense of humor, having fun. Okay. Very optimistic with Sagittarius. Now we move on to the 20th, and that is a Capricorn moon. And with the Capricorn moon, it's a earth placement. So it's very grounded with our emotions, practical. You may be focused on your responsibilities, goals, long-term plans, a lot of self-discipline, a lot of hard work. Whenever we have Virgo and Capricorn moons, I always think of hard work, okay? And achieving your objectives and goals. So whatever you want to achieve, most likely this would be the mood and the emotions to do it. Okay. Emotionally stable and in control. You are mindful of be mindful of becoming too serious, because Capricorn energy, whenever it's involved, it's very serious. So practice some balance there. And now the next moon we have, lastly, at the end of the week, we have an Aquarius moon, and very unconventional tone. Okay. We may be feeling detached, but open to progressive and innovative ideas. Socializing is huge when you have this moon with friends and groups, and find it easier to express individuality and unique perspective. Emotions, usually with this moon, is very aloof. Okay. I'm not feeling emotions. I'm not feeling, aloof is like distant from the, but you do feel it when it comes to personal relationships. However, for the collective, there is a strong emotions there. So not as much for the spiritual. Okay. So that is what we have with that moon. So let's get on to our transit. So on the 18th, here, let me bring you back to the 18th here. And we have the sun right there is opposing the north node here. Now, not only do we have that, it is conjunct the south node. Okay. So this transit, the sun is about, well, overall, there could be discouraging the truth. We have the sun in Libra, the north node in Libra, and I mean, yes, and the south node, the south node in Libra, the north node in Aries. Okay. This is the north node. This is the south node. Okay. And when you have that, things take a discouraging turn, and there may be a compromise that we have to make. Other questions, your credentials. There may be unpredictable. You may be I don't know what this word is. You may be unappreciated. I had a typo. Sorry. You may be unappreciated for your efforts. The ego may get injured with this placement, and this is on the 18th. So those who can be benefit require something from you. Okay. It's hard to push through barriers, and there are frustrations dealing with others. Men often play a significant role with this aspect. This is a time to make adjustments in your methods, using the present circumstances as a guide to modify some things. Okay. Efforts, you may feel maybe energy draining, because the sun is our energy, right? So now, the sun is our ego. The sun is our drive, somewhat like Mars, if you didn't know. And now you have it opposing that north node. So this transit can create tension and a sense of push and pull between your desire for harmony, especially harmony in relationships, or some type of balance, or something being fair, because that's what Libra energy is about, and your need for embracing individuality, because that south node is in Aries. Okay. And forging your path forward. Okay. Now, when the sun is conjunct that north node, when it's together with that Libra, it relates to relationships and cooperations and the desire for balance. So the individual self versus relationships is a key theme here. And a conjunction can bring unresolved issues, old habits, and situations that need closure for some type of transformation, because the nodes are very sensitive and are about your karmic past and about what you need to achieve in this lifetime. And if you have that north node in relationships, there's something with bonds and relationship that needs to be achieved. So if we think of it as a collective, You're thinking more about, let's use Israel and Hassan and their relationship. So there's something that has to be not thinking of the self, but the collective and the relationship. So they have to figure out something together to be together and not think about the selves. And this opposing aspect is going to wake you up and cause some tension there. Okay. Anytime you have an opposition, it's like a seesaw, or almost like black and white. You can't get along. You can't see the other side. So that is more what you get. So you can't see the energy of the Aries, which is all about the self, right? Versus the Libra, which is all about others in a relationship. Okay. So that is what you have opposing. Okay. And my notes wasn't clear because no telling what I wrote these notes a long time ago, and I am just not reading it. But this is going to happen at 5:45 a.m. I know the time is different here, but that's when it's going to happen. Now we have that same day, we have Mercury. And Mercury right here is in the sign Libra, and it's also going to be conjunct that North Node closer to 10:34 p.m. So we'll feel the energy more in the morning for this opposing aspect, but the conjunct of the Mercury and the South Node, we're going to feel that more at night. And the South Node is all about our past. So like the ending of something, right? So the Mercury in Libra conjunct the South Node in Libra is about wrapping up old business matters with logistics. It could be dealing with news, information, communication, and it's going to be about something in the present. However, it's about the past because the South Node is about the past. This is about the past relationships. Okay. So that's why it makes me think of Israel and Hassan, because that is a past relationship and it's opposing that self, which is about the future, like being on your own with yourself. Okay. There's a need to resolve or update something from your past. Data coming in and the present circumstances may allow you to unload or purge an old idea. And it's old idea because we have this theme of Libra. And don't worry about the house right now because we're talking about the collective. But we have the theme of Libra, and Libra is all about balancing aesthetics, beauty. It's ruled by Venus. So there is the luxury of being a little lazy, that energy, being fair, balance, harmony, justice, fairness, law could be involved with this. Heavy with relationships, open enemies could be in a relationship too. But there's some news there because it's touching at Mercury. And nerves become frazzled by errors or schedules, travel related upsets, dealing with agents. Young people may play a significant role here. Frustrations felt in a matter of the house, ruled by Mercury. And Mercury is all about communications on all level. So writing, talking, reading, social media, all that is Mercury, right? So when you have this thought process, Mercury, and learning and the way you express yourself in Libra, you have that, all that I explained, harmony and balance, right? You have that in communication, right? And in relationships and partners. And then when you have the South Node in Libra, that is your past life patterns, habits, or experiences you had. And when Libra is there, you have this energy of that with relationships or being very cooperative or finding an equilibrium. Those are the significant themes, right? And they're conjunct. Conjunct means that the energy is more together. So now communication and learning is with this, how we were in the past in our relationships, right? So revisiting past relationships, opportunities from our past, and how we are with relationships and how we express ourselves in relationships, and a need to balance your communicative style, finding a middle ground in harmony and diplomacy. Okay. And maybe even adding that assertiveness because you have that opposing there with that Aries here, right? And that Aries opposing is maybe some challenges with communication about the self or a balancing act with the self, because you're always going to have that whenever you're dealing with the nodes. You're always going to have this seesaw effect, this black and white and the opposite over there. So learning opportunities like conflict, because Aries is not afraid of conflict. So you have that with the North Node, and it's all about assertiveness, being independent. And now it's opposing that Mercury, because whenever something is conjunct one node, it's opposing another. So here you are, you're like, oh, this is great, but then that complete opposite polarity energy is teaching you like, wait, hold up, but you need to learn this lesson, okay? And this is how we need to be in how we are now. So the North Node is how we should be living in this lifetime, and the South Node is what we're very comfortable with. So this North Node is here to teach us this is how we need to do it in this lifetime, okay? So let's move on. I hope that made sense, okay? So we're going to be having some communication challenges with your own expressive needs. However, there's clarity with your current life with relationships, okay? So that's more the gist of it. Okay, so now let's talk about the 19th. And the 19th, we have here a Cazimi. Oh, yes. And I didn't mention this earlier, but a Cazimi is very clear in communication. Whenever I have a Cazimi for the collective, I think of like a huge announcement. And yeah, look at this. This is 26 degrees. Oh, boy. It's in the heart of the sun. Very creative thinking, warm communication, direct sharing of one's points of view, a conscious sense of purpose whenever we have a Cazimi, right? Very enthusiastic mind, intellect, and supported by willpower and energy, because that sun is your willpower and energy, consciousness of purpose. A direct sharing of one's point of view, urges to make commitments and statements of one's own perspective, an energized flow of communication details and errands. So if you got to get anything done, the 19th is a great day to do it, to have clarity, amplified communication, clarity of the mind, and integration of self and communication, creative expression. Especially when we have that Libra and Mercury in Libra, it's going to be emphasized on being very diplomatic and very harmonious when it comes to communication. So if you're negotiating, if you're doing anything with mediation, anything that has to be refined in some matter, and balancing between relationships is great. It's also very influenced on relationships with this energy that day. So Libra, focus on relationships, partnerships. And remember, relationships are not just friendships and lovers. It's any type of business relationship, okay? Even open enemies. Communication will be very clear. So if you have something to deal with professionally, go ahead and do it. It will be very harmonious for you to communicate. Decision making is also very favorable with this energy. So October 9th, amazing energy for the collective. Now let's move on to the 20th. Now this is where things gets a little saucy, okay? So we have Mercury right here is squaring Pluto right here, okay? Squaring Pluto. Now, don't worry about the placement, because we'll get into that when we do the horoscopes. But whenever you have a square with Pluto, my thing is like, it's going to be intense. Anything dealing with Pluto is going to be intense. And remember, Pluto is in the sign of Capricorn, and remember, Mercury is in the sign of Libra. Okay, Capricorn, for people who are new to astrology and understanding astrology, anytime a sign is in Capricorn, for the collective, we're dealing with structures, boundaries, governments, limitation, time, father figures, people in uniform. Yes. And also even something dying, right? You get that for the collective. That's what Capricorn and Pluto in the sign of Capricorn, it's all about the shadowness of that energy of everything I said. So the shadowness of, people in uniform. So like police or something like that, or doctors, and I think doctors more Virgo, but they are in uniform. So people who are in any type of uniform industry. Okay. Now, squaring is conflict. It is, I feel like I should do this. Squaring is a conflict, and it's okay. It's an aspect that deals with tension, conflict, and challenge. Okay. And when Mercury squares Pluto, it can create friction between the way we communicate and think. Because Mercury, like I said earlier, is all about thinking, communicating, how we process information, and the energy of transformation and power is going to be intense here. Okay, so in a nutshell, mental struggles and obsession. So you just had yesterday the day of clarity, and then the next day is like, okay, and there could be a fear of one's dark shadow thoughts, harmful and destructive communication, aggressive dogmas and beliefs, and crude speech. So if you were the day before on the 19th talking to your boss or talking to someone who you had a professional relationship, I wouldn't talk to him the next day. Okay. Give it some time. So intense, powerful criticism, the destruction of the effect of a truth, the breakdown of philosophy, because Pluto is here to bring out the truth, right? What else we have? A transformation of a point of view, exploited beliefs, a tendency toward mental fixation and struggle, fear of polluting one's mind with dark or heavy images. And we'll get into Pluto and Scorpio energy a lot more as we get into this video. But obsession with the train of thought, extreme or fanatical opinions, a mind ready to explode, bad attitudes you get with this energy. Okay, I don't mean to laugh, but it's just, you just see someone with a bad attitude. It's just so childish to me. But crude speech, a foul mouth, an obsession with sexual innuendos. You get poison pen, poison tongue, nasty rumors, gossip, intense, destructive rumors or gossip. Okay, and interrogating someone with the kind of speech you have. Okay. A habit of bad mouthing and sharing the dirt on others. Okay. Urges to impose one intellect or philosophy or model onto the collective. Okay. Because Pluto is all about the power and it's squaring Mercury, that communication. So just be aware of that. Desires to change other people's minds forcefully. Okay. All right. So that's what you get. So you get intense communication, deep insights, challenges, and fairness, because we are dealing with Libra, transformation and change. This transit could be a catalyst for transformation, especially the thought process and how we communicate. We may force to get rid of a lot of negative thoughts, because Pluto is trying to cleanse out some things here. But just be aware of the power struggles. Be aware, especially when it comes to relationships and authority, that Capricorn energy can be kind of strong. And I would think for the collective, there is going to be something controlling far as government that comes out, that's communicated, like the right of speech and the fairness of it. That is what I see. Very much power struggles through communication, through the news, through the media. Okay. So that's what I get that day. Intense emotions with that. Okay. Even though the moon on that day, actually, let me see. What is our moon doing on the 20th? It's in a sign Capricorn. Very serious energy. Okay. But I also see it being very controlling with that Capricorn energy. Okay. So let's see what else we have. And remember that moon moves fast. So we're going to get the moods all through that with that little aspect there. And that aspect, I think, is a big aspect of the week. So on the 21st, let me put you back here on the 21st. Let's move on to the next day. We got the sun now is going to be squaring Pluto, and possibly even that moon there too. So the emotions, but remember the moon's going to move fast, because if I just move it an hour later, well, it's still there, but it moves fast. It's still there. Sometimes it'll move fast. It'll really hit right here. More on this time. What time do I have this? Oh, 7:09 a.m. is where that sun is going to square Pluto, but then that moon will get affected and starts to add the emotions to it. So just be aware of that. Okay, and let me make sure I change this back to the day so I won't forget. So when you have the sun squaring, and the sun in Libra is all about, first of all, the sun is about our ego and our life and our identity. And in Libra, it's all about being balanced and very fair relationships, right? And partnerships and even aesthetics, very big, right? Now, Pluto, transformation, power, regeneration, being very deep, things that are often hidden, okay? Very intense, life altering kind of energy. Square is tension, conflict, very challenging. Some people don't like when you use that kind of terminology, but I want to speak the truth, and that's what it is. And it's here to bring life lessons. Okay. Now, when you have it squaring the sun, it was squaring the communication and thought, but now it's squaring our life force, our ego, our identity, right? The boss of the whole astrology for us, right? And now it's squaring that, and there's conflict, and there could be power struggles. There could be intense transformation, like a big makeover happening here that you're like, whoa, and it's a square, so it's not going to be something that you will like at the beginning, okay? Because you may like it. Also could be power struggles, because remember, Pluto is in the sign Capricorn with authority, okay? So struggles with authority figures, maybe even institutions, okay? Now, confrontation, I also assume government. I'm telling you, whenever I see this Pluto in Capricorn, I just think government. And let me see, it's Pluto, and Pluto is out of retrograde. So it's really out in the open. It's like, come on, you guys. And it's revisiting those same degrees that we already had before. Emotional intensity can run high with this transit. You may be more aware of deep emotion undercurrents within yourself and relationships. And maybe your relationships with father figures, or your relationship with the government, people in power, people in any type of authority. Okay. Rebirth and regeneration. Again, you have this. This is an important time to approach this transit with self-awareness and understanding of the potential of intense and transformation experiences. While it could be challenging, it also offers a potential for personal renewal, growth, as you confront and work through the issues related to power, control, time, government, father figures, and your sense of self and relationship in the world. Okay. So that's what we have for that transit. Let's move on. Oh, the same day. So at 9:32 p.m., we'll change it to hour. 9:32 p.m. We have Venus here, and it's in the sign Virgo. It's trining our Jupiter here, and that's going to be in 12 degrees, right? So trine is very positive. You don't have to do any work for anything trining. Very positive. God and the universe has just put this on your lap. So Venus in Virgo represents Venus. Yeah, Venus in Virgo represents Venus itself. Is all about love and harmony, right? And pleasure and socializing. And when it's in love, it's very practical. It's very detail orientated. Service, energy, like the service of doing something for someone, and very everyday pleasures could be happening, right? And then Jupiter in Taurus. I did a podcast detailed on Jupiter and Taurus. I think I did a video on Jupiter and Taurus. So go ahead and check out that video. It's really good. It's still very current. Okay. But Jupiter and Taurus, Jupiter is already about expansion and growth and abundance. And when you have Taurus in Jupiter, and then you're talking about land and resources. That's what Taurus is. And Taurus and Jupiter is about material wealth and sensual pleasures and stability, and encourage us to have our finances in order, our resources in order. How do we get our food? How do we farm? What's our farmland looking at? And the physical world, right? Now, trine is very positive, like I said. So everything is going to work out for the better. Everything's going to be amazing. Okay. Especially when it comes to earthly matters, because you're dealing with earth element here. So there's abundance in resources, abundance in the service that we are given. I wonder what the nurses are going to be doing with this energy, because we have that Venus in Virgo trining Jupiter and Taurus with resources. So if you're trying to go to a hospital, it's probably a great time to go. Very optimistic and joyful energy. Enhanced relationships. Because Venus is about love and relationships. So you're likely to be heightened and appreciate the beauty aesthetics as well. Relationships, this transit could lead to a more harmonious, enjoyable interactions with loved ones. And like I said, you don't have to do much with this. It's already on our side. There's personal growth here, because Jupiter is all about growth. And both in the terms of self-worth and ability to attract abundance in your life. Stability and security, you get that with this placement. Okay, so whatever is happening in our day is very positive. So we had our little rough patch with these squares in Pluto. Sorry, I'm looking to the side here. This is live. And I just heard a noise, but okay. Okay, that was the neighbor. So you do have stability and security. It's very positive. Okay, it's very enjoyable aspect. It's a time for you indulging in life pleasures and nurturing your relationship and embracing a sense of abundance and well-being. And when we're talking about collective and we're talking about this Jupiter trining our resources in our land, right, in the sign of Virgo. So the service industry somehow is going to help out with our farmland, somehow, are the details, are the ingredients of something when it comes to our resources and some finances. Okay. Very positive aspect is going to work out for us. Now, that same day, we have, let me actually move some hours here. There it goes. I want to show you the before. Here we have Mercury, and then boop, right there, that Mercury goes to Scorpio. So it was in Libra. Now it moves on to Scorpio at 11:48 a.m. So, I mean, p.m. So it's definitely at night. And when you have Scorpio, here we go. You know what? Let me take a sip of water. Hold on. Okay, so I think I left off on Mercury enters Scorpio, and I thought I was recording and I was not. Somehow it turned off. I'm really believing that I left off on Mercury enter Scorpio. So let me just show you that. I'm pretty sure I showed you that already. And let me just explain what Mercury is. Mercury entering Scorpio at 11:48 p.m. It's about being very sharp and inquisitive and mysterious and passionate and even privacy. Okay. Mercury, when it enters the sign of water, you're going to have emotions because Scorpio is about water and it's very intense. It's very deep. Okay. It does not want to have any shallow energy, no superficial energy. And we just left Mercury in Libra. So it's very superficial. Okay. And now it's like, no, now we need to get deep. And I only want to have deep conversations or intense conversations. So be aware of that coming in with this transit. I think it ends actually. Let me see when it ends here. Hold on one second. Mercury, okay, goes into Scorpio November 9th. Okay, so it ends November 9th. So we're going to have deep, intense conversations until then. Okay. So get ready. Research and investigation. We have secrets and mysteries. We have power and control. The intuition and psychic insight is going to be stronger than ever. So if you want a tarot reading, that would be great. If you're dealing with anything with intuition, be aware of that and really tap into your intuition with Mercury and Scorpio. Believe your intuition. Believe that inner voice. Okay. Believe what God is telling you in that deeper place. Okay. Great time to even write down the dreams too. So go ahead and do that. Clear and direct communication happens because Scorpio wants to be direct and wants to be straightforward. Okay. Take it from someone who loves to have difficult conversations and deal with difficult topics. And people who don't have my energy of Scorpio and eighth house placements can't comprehend. But that is what I'm here for. Okay. Emotional communication too, because powerful emotions, again, like I said earlier, healing and transformation, clearing out the skeleton in the closets to really cleanse that energy. The darkness before the light is everything that you have when you're dealing with Scorpio. Okay. Let me tell you some key things when you're dealing with Scorpio. You got chemistry. Some chemists are involved with Scorpio energy, devils, reptiles, and Libra's animal is reptile. So let's see if we get some more of the snakes. Okay. Cemeteries, life after death, funeral, rebirth, dying. Okay. The underworld. Hay fever is also with Scorpio and magic and passion. Now, reproductive system and a reproduction is also a major theme with Scorpio and satire, sarcasm, surgery, and surgeons. The womb is also part of the reproduction as well. The private parts, major part of Scorpio. So let's see what we get with this energy involving that. Now you have tyranny and treachery. So that's more government energy and for the collective. Intimacy and sex. Psychiatrists. Psychology is huge with Scorpio. So that's why I like to get deep and get darker, and you say darker but deeper, because you want to get the psychology of everything. Researchers, antichrist, Satan, destruction, hell, evil, monsters. Remember, we have Halloween during Scorpio season. That is not there by circumstance. That is there for a reason. Okay. Also, we have the Day of the Dead, and Scorpio is also dealing with the underworld too. So, all that is the reason why we have those holidays. They do not just fall in for no reason. So, anytime you have Mercury transiting into Scorpio, we're going to engage in deep and transformative and intense communication and thinking. It's a time to explore the depths of our mind, the depth of our mind, DEPTHS. Okay. Sometimes I say it wrong and it comes off like dying. Okay. Engage in meaningful conversations, uncover the hidden truth, because we are dealing with research and investigation. Also, I just love people with Scorpio energy, especially if we're dealing with Mercury and Scorpio, and because they're really going to get to the hidden truth. I find that those are the people who are like dealing with the conspiracies, and then they find out this is not a conspiracy, this is the truth. I really love it. And major intuitive energy. Okay, so get prepared for next week. Next week, we have a sun that enters Scorpio. So look out for a video that I have, everything Scorpio. Also, we have the lunar Taurus eclipse happening next week. Okay, so let me pull tarot for the collective. I did this already, thought I was filming, but it's okay. That reading was probably for me. And then we have the Chariot. So it's all about willpower and moving forward. There may be some type of decision that you have to make that's very black and white, very opposite, but keep going forward, keep moving. Also, that is the major arcana, and it's a big deal, but it's also a Cancer card. So if you're a Cancer, and it looks like there is some moving forward when it comes to saving and holding on to your resources. Also, there's some movement forward with hoarding. This is someone who's like, no, I want to keep it all for myself. And it's dealing with something physical, because the coins is always physical. Maybe even hoarding food too. And this is the energy of self-made, right? This person is 7, not self-made, but they planted the seeds. They're watching it grow. They're taking their time to watch it grow. This is a slow movement. So it looks like you're starting off the week moving very fast, and something's going to slow you up. And it looks like something with your resources slowing you up. You have maybe too much baggage physically. Also, you need to plant the seed for something moving forward. Okay. Let me pull one more card so we can have some, because I just like to know. Okay. Okay. These both cards are coming up. Ooh, we have the Death card, and this is all Scorpio. Okay. So this is all about a transformation, major transformation, and another major arcana, which is the Venus. This is representing Venus, and then Venus is in the sign Virgo. So, maybe there's a transformation for the collective with people in service for us, or our health, or something, a transformation. Yeah, because Venus is in a sign Virgo. So that's why I'm saying something in transformation for us, our health, transformation in the details of things. Yes, but very Virgo energy, because Venus is in Virgo and there's a transformation that Scorpio is touching it. Okay. So, I find that it's a lot of earth energy going on, all our resources. So, yes, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that resonated. Next week, I think I already said that, and I did. Next week, Sun enters Scorpio and lunar Taurus eclipse happens. Okay. So now we are going to do our horoscopes. Okay. So let me go over here to our banner. Let me click on my ticker for you guys, and let's move on to Aries. Aries, let's go to the beginning of the week, Aries, for you guys, which is the 16th. Let me show this actually. There we go. So we have the 16th, and the sun is in Libra. It's going to be opposing that North Node in the 7th house. Let me see. I have my notes here. Like I said earlier, I wrote these notes a long time ago. 7th house. Oh, this is not. Okay, hold on. Let's go to Aries. Okay. Yeah, we do have 7th house, of course, because Libra. Okay, it's Libra season. You guys are always in the 7th house for Libra season. Just so you know, every year It's Libra season. You guys have these themes of relationships, harmony, and balance, something with the law, okay? And it's opposing that. So you have the sun here, and it is conjunct this north node, the south node, sorry. It's conjunct the south node. So your past life of relationships and balance and harmony, it's opposing that north node, okay, of relationships. So you're going to have some challenging themes here of yourself and how you are as an individual versus your relationships. It's almost literal because it's even in the same houses. So be aware of that, your identity versus your independence and relationships. Okay. So that is what you have towards the beginning of the week. And then the sun squaring Pluto will be happening for you. And yeah, okay. So power struggles and confrontations in relationships, right? And we have that happening in your 10th house. So there could be a major Capricorn energy, power of authority, father figures, okay, your goals and your hopes and dreams, okay, mixed in with that relationship, okay? So be aware of that. Mercury is going to square, and Mercury is here, and that's going to square Pluto as well because they're conjunct and they're hugging each other. So even the thought process. So I think the Mercury squares first and then the sun squares after. So be aware of that. And that is dealing with your relationships versus your career, your long-term goals here. Okay. Also, Mercury is going to enter that 8th house. So right here is in the 7th house, but when it goes into Scorpio, it will enter that 8th house there. So you're really going to be talking about all things in the Scorpio. Okay. Also, this could be the thought of shared resources, joint ventures, transformation in that aspect, financial matters, having a deep conversation, even about intimacy. All that can happen for you, Aries. Okay, so let me pull your cards here, Aries. And we have the 4 of Cups. This is all about being grateful for what God is giving you. It's also taking the time to contemplate and think on your own, but really be grateful for what God has given you here. Sorry, I was scratching my eye. Be grateful for what God has given you. God is giving you something here, and either you are opening to receiving it, you are in deep contemplation. Okay. Also, we are dealing with water. Scorpio is about water. Okay. So all I could really because you're dealing with some squaring and you're dealing with your image, your public image, and your reputation, are you grateful for what God has given you? God is giving you something, and are you like, no, but I only have 3, but God is like, here, you don't have 3, I've given you 4. Okay, be aware of that and really tap into their intuition this week. Okay, Aries. Yes, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, so let's get into you, sweet Taurus. I was going to say Scorpio, sorry. Okay, Taurus, we have the sun in that 6th house and the Mercury in that 6th house. It's going to be squaring Pluto. Pluto is in that 9th house. I apologize. So we have some transformation happening with your experiences and travel and adventure and your philosophy, right? The way you once thought of something, you probably no longer think of it that way. And then it's like your day-to-day activities. So you might be faced with relationships with your work and health and daily routines. Power struggle may be impacting you, especially when it's squaring that Pluto in your philosophies or higher learning. Could be religious too, or traveling, world traveling. Okay. And then conversations about your everyday discussions, intensity, and co-workers and health. They're both, this is all the themes you have for this Libra season. And then it's going to be squaring that power struggle. And this is in the house of philosophy, not philosophy. Yeah. And your theories and your beliefs. So I'm thinking that something's going to change in that, especially when it comes into things of relationship and government, maybe what you thought of the government. Now, Mercury will be moving into your 7th house. And I don't have notes on that, but Mercury's moving in the 7th house in Scorpio. So very deep conversations and relationship will be happening for you when Mercury enters that, and really discussing in relationships. Now, this could be any type of relationship, like I said earlier, but yours is really going to be focused on relationships. So here you have these placements in the sign of Libra, and this is daily activities and routine and health, maybe your health relationship, right? And here you are still focused on relationships. So be aware that your Venus is in there too, already in Scorpio. So it's just a double whammy for you discussing that. Let me pull some cards for you, Taurus. Let me see what else. Work, daily activities, tension at work, tension between yourself also too, because you have it opposing this person who wants to be alone and seek solitude in his lifetime. So you should be really seeking solitude for yourself. Also, you have that Chiron in there, the healing of the self, the healing of being alone. This placement is also very lacking. Like it feels insecure, but this is where you're supposed to be in this year with you to achieve your current life situations. Okay, yeah, we have the King of Cups. It fell out. This is water energy. Let me this is water energy. So yeah, I would think that this that 12th house placement is big for you. You guys should be seeking solitude, really seeking intuition, being very spiritual, and being alone, emotionally stable, focusing on your emotions, especially with the Scorpio energy. So the 12th house placement, Scorpio energy, water needs to be more focused here. The King of Cups is very emotionally stable. So balance that and be very emotionally stable. The emotional IQ very high here, very nurturing, very romantic as well. Yeah, because they care about and love, and they're very compassionate. Okay, so that is what you have. So I hope that resonated with you guys. Taurus placements. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Geminis, let's get with you. Okay, you have your sun squaring Pluto in the 5th house. Let me see. Let us see. Okay. Okay, yes. So you have a lot of 5th house placements, and then it's squaring this 8th house. Ooh, of transformation. Pluto is in your 8th house of transformation. Father figures are changing you. The government is changing you. There's some boundaries and structure here in this whole house of intimacy and hidden things or shared income, shared property. Okay, so it's squaring. Remember, squaring is conflict. So the 5th house here is all about like, let's have fun. Let's, I want to express myself in a very creative way or a very confident way. There's some power struggles here happening here. Also could be dealing with some relationships because we're dealing with Libra energy. But there's some childhood, not childhood, some children concerns here, children and structure, children and power. That could be conflicting. Romance and power. The dynamics are challenging here. Okay. Now you have this North node on the opposite there, and I did horoscopes on the node, so go ahead and check out that video. You have Chiron here in 11th house, so it's conflicting the self and your hopes and dreams, the self of the future, the self of technology, the self of socializing, like you yourself versus the relationship you're in, socializing, like someone who's in like a fraternity but they have a husband kind of energy, or there's like a boyfriend or a romance here. Okay, now Mercury is going to enter that Scorpio energy towards the end of this week, and so the thought of all the health and daily routines and your systems, all that is going to happen here. And Mercury joining that house in a sign of Scorpio, I would think that there's going to be intensity, deep conversations happening when it comes to your health. Deep conversations are intensity, and then the feeling of all that happening with how you do your daily routines. Okay. It may not make sense now, but it will make sense as you go on. Okay, Geminis, let's see. What else do we have here? Yeah. Okay. Let me pull some cards for you. And we have, the Emperor. So the Emperor is all about, hold on, being a boss, okay? Setting some structure here and being in charge, okay? So this week you need to be the boss. You need to say it how it is. Go with your gut instinct. Yeah, and be the boss. Whatever the conflict is, it's that square, but this is a person who's very Aries. So don't be afraid to say it right away. Also, that North Node is in the sign of Aries. So maybe the focus of that 11th house is going to be a big deal because that's a major arcana for you. Okay. So yeah, I'm seeing the connection with the North Node. I'm seeing a connection with it next to that Chiron, which is the healing in Aries. The Aries energy is strong when it comes to being the first to maybe socialize or being the first with something futuristic or technology, because the Aries is going to be inventive. And that's what you're supposed to be focusing on this year. Okay. Yes, Geminis, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Cancers. Let's get into it for you and your horoscopes and Cancers. So we have fourth house placements, and you see it's opposing the North Node. Is it showing? No, it's not. Sorry. Okay, so now you can see it. You have fourth house placements, Cancers and Cancers. Okay, you have fourth house placement in this Libra energy, all about the home and relationships, right? Those are going to be conjunct, and you are going to really get into the Cazimi happens with this energy too. So clarity with home and relationships, okay? Or mother and your relationships, or your past and your legacy and relationships. Now it's opposing your when it gets conjunct and opposing this North Node, is opposing your legacy, your goals, your reputation, your public image. Okay. And there needs to be some healing, and it might be the first healing of its kind because you're dealing with that Aries energy. So something very new is happening within this year for you guys. Okay. Now Mercury is going to be placed in this fifth house. Let me see. It's in the fourth house now, but it's going to move into the fifth house in a sign of Scorpio. Actually, let me see. Yeah, so Mercury, I changed it. Mercury is going to be in that fifth house here, and the thought of all that Scorpio in fun and confidence and self-expression and romance, I kind of see a lot of intimacy there with you guys. Okay, Cancer, so just be happy in love, relationship stuff all here. And then romance, if you are already in a relationship, it could spark the romance here. Really thinking about reproduction too, fertility, all this can happen here with this energy. Okay, and you guys are Cancers, you guys have that Cancer energy, so there's mother energy there. Mercury in the fifth house displacement can make you creative, more intense and passionate about creativity, more intense or deepening of romantic relationships, exploring creative projects. And when I say creative, I think like the cricket. If you have a cricket, if you don't know what that cricket, knitting, like arts and crafts kind of thing, but being really intense or engaging in hobbies too. Okay. Oh yes, so God is giving you the energy of new resources and new abundance. Okay, new health things are happening here. And let me see what we had here. Yeah, it's a new beginning in resources. Also could be the home here, very earth energy. I'm trying to see what we have. Let me pull another card for clarity on that. Actually, we'll look at the bottom deck because we are dealing with some Pluto energy. And we have the Seven of Cups in reverse. So there is God is giving you something, some resources, and you had cloudy judgment, but it looks like it's going to be clear because this is a cloudy judgment. This is materialism, and maybe the materialism is going to be taken away, and not taken away, but the thought of being materialistic, because God now is giving you some resources here to help you have some clarity, okay, on things. So that is what we have for you guys on the week. Ouch, I just hurt my elbow. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you next time. Bye. Okay, Leos, let's get into it. Your sun, let me pull up your charts, Leos, and let me take you to the beginning of the week. So many buttons that I have to press. The more I do it, the better I get at it. Okay, so Leos, let's get into it. Okay, so your sun, all your stuff is in the third house. I did Libra horoscopes, so if you want to know about that, go ahead and check out one of the past videos. Now, you're going to, all this is opposing and it's conjunct in third house. Sorry about that. Okay, so Leos, I'm sorry, I got interrupted. So we have the sun opposing the North Node in the ninth house. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm still distracted. Okay, so the sun is in the third house, and that's all about communications and dealing with the day-to-day activities. This also could be dealing with some siblings here, okay? And because I'm thinking of relationships or like your communities and your neighbors, and then you have it opposing that North Node, and this is what we're currently supposed to be dealing with. And it looks like it's kind of close to the healer. That's what this is, in the sign of Aries, which is about yourself, right? And Aries is very fast and it's first there. So it's also about like dealing the energy of the first and yourself. And that is in the house of philosophies or traveling. So maybe you're supposed to be traveling. This is also dealing with writing, and this is dealing with publishing. So that could be opposing writing about relationships, and it's opposing publishing and getting it out to the world for the first time. Yes, but then it's conjunct the south node, and there needs to be something of releasing, maybe releasing. Also early education is what you get with this relationship with something. With the early education is what you get. Let me see what else. You can engage in intense transformation in communication with siblings, neighbors, or short trips. You might have power struggles relating to expressing your thoughts with this energy. And also because it's squaring Pluto. And Pluto is in your sixth house. So there's major transformation in it seems like your day-to-day activities, right? And power struggles with this energy because it's squaring that. So it's also squaring your health, squaring your day-to-day activities, your routines, and your community. Okay, so yes, be aware of that. Siblings, neighborhood, all that you have, and then you have it squaring in that sixth house. And the sixth house is also could be dealing with pets. Okay, so your neighborhood and some type of authority, and you and pets are a struggle here, or you and your health is a struggle here. Remember what you're supposed to be achieving this year, because that north node and south node, that's there for the whole year. And I did a video on that, so you can go ahead and look at your transits on that for as your rising sign as Leo or your Leo placement. Okay. Mercury also in the sign of Scorpio is going to enter that fourth house. So thoughts of your home and family and emotional security. You're going to go deep into that, maybe even deep into family history, or where you feel safe. All that is going to be with that Mercury placement transit going in there in the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio is going to be intense and deep, everything that we discussed. So let me pull some tarot for you guys. Leo placements. Okay. We got some cards here. Cards that are falling out. We have the Page of Pentacles. This is double earth. Okay. So really taking your time and studying and learning something. And what are we learning? Is it something about your past? We have major arcana that fell out, which is the Devil card. That's very Capricorn energy too. I'm thinking it's dealing with that Pluto. So maybe you need to really learn and study that house of where that Pluto is there, because Capricorn is in the sign of Pluto. Okay, let me see. Let me go back and look at this chart. Yeah, okay. So because you have that Pluto in the sixth house of health, yeah, there could be some health issues here. And be careful of overeating. Okay. That square is going to really bring something here when it comes to health or resources for you. Okay. I see that Venus is in your second house. Venus of Virgo, of socializing, that is dealing with some resources too. But that Pluto in Capricorn is strong. Let me see what else you have. You have Jupiter in the sign of and the 10th house, which is the ruler of Saturn. Okay, major Saturn energy there. So I'm thinking that actually, let me show you the chart here. Okay, so because you have these placements here, and the devil, sorry about my phone, the devil is representing Saturn, structure and boundaries, all that in that 10th house. I'm seeing here major Capricorn energy, especially with this. These are all in Capricorn, expect the unexpected. And also, there's an abundance of this reputation here, your public image, all that is really big with you this year. And then you have it squaring your North Node, this Capricorn, and Saturn is in here. So something big is going to happen with Capricorn energy for you. It's huge. It's a major arcana. And the cards are saying, and I say, God is saying that you need to research and take your time. This is the beginning of researching it and studying it and moving slow and being very detailed, because Earth energy is going to be stable and moving slow and really beginning to learn it. So the square aspect, this conflict, this tension that you have with yourself, also you too could be a young Earth energy. But the young Earth energy, like, Virgo, a Taurus, a Capricorn, you could be that young Earth energy, but it's the beginning of it. It's the beginning stages. Let me pull one more card for you guys. I'm curious to know. Yes, Gemini. Okay, so also the third house, this is Gemini energy. The Lovers card is Gemini energy. So yeah, this third house, it's a major, and this is a major arcana. So being balanced also represents Gemini, and Gemini, the third house, is Gemini energy. Let me see what we have. I'm thinking with these two major placements here, these two major arcanas, God wants you to do this following thing. He wants you to take your time. He wants you to move slow. He wants you to look at the details. Okay, he really wants you to take your time when it comes to these placements, your third house placements, which is communication, your day-to-day travel, and anything dealing with Saturn. Okay, God wants you to practice this page of Pentacles, which they're going to take their time. They're going to study their health. What else? Time and health, details, slowness, focusing, studying, learning. Okay, you get all that with that. Even saving money, saving your resources. Okay, I hope that resonated with you. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Bye. Okay, hello, Virgos. Let's get into your horoscopes of the week. And of course, we have second house placements in the sign of Libra, resources in relationships, right? What you deem as a resource in relationship. It's going to be opposing that eighth house energy. Maybe there's some secrets here, something was hidden and now it's out in the open, especially when it comes to your resources, especially when it comes to yourself versus a relationship. Also very deep, very emotional, very intense, very psychological, intimacy, also shared income, but it's in the energy of self. Aries is all about the self, or maybe doing something first. Also, you have this healer here. You want to heal with yourself, and these are anything dealing with this eighth house placements, like intimacy, healing with yourself, with secrets or things that are hidden, or even psychology, maybe a seeking therapist this whole year is probably what you were dealing with, healing yourself psychologically. That's majorly what I get. And maybe it's your first time doing it. Okay, so you have that. And then also you have this conjunct here of the South Node and Libra. So like releasing and letting go. Let me see what I have in my notes for my Virgos. Mercury and Libra in second house scoring, financial evaluating value related discussions could be more intense. You may be addressing dynamics in your financial matters, including investments and possessions, financial issues, values, all that is big. Power struggles, because you are dealing with that Pluto squaring. This energy, remember, it's going to be squaring the sun and Mercury, and it's in your fifth house. Fifth house is very confident, self-expression, romance. Okay, all of that is going to be challenging here, even creativity, even children. Okay, all that is going to give you some power struggles with the dealings of your resources. Okay, what else? Okay, and then Mercury is going to scooch its butt over here in the third house. You already have some placements in here in the third house, but it's going to put the thought of and communication in the sign of Scorpio. We discussed what that means, but Mercury in the third house is going to emphasize communication with siblings and neighbors and short trips. Maybe investigating or researching with those things, or journalism, or researching a book. Also, what if you're writing a book on intimacy, or writing a book on psychology, or writing a book on secrets? All that is going to happen. Okay, let me pull some cards for you guys. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even show you. Sorry. I was pointing to it and didn't even show you. So, sorry. I am reading text messages because I have kids. Okay, so yes, let me show you what I was saying. So you have Mercury that's going to skedaddle his butt into the third house. The third house is all about siblings, communication, day-to-day travels, your neighborhood, your community, also writing, everything that I said there. And then also the sun here is in that second house. You've been, when it comes to resources of some way, or physicalness, because you're dealing with Taurus, all that's been a focus. It's opposing that eighth house of secrets. Okay, now it's squaring that Pluto, and this Pluto is a transformation in your self-expression, confidence, also too. Yes, and children, romance, all that, right? But that's squaring that. Okay, and what else did I have here for my Virgos? That's all I have in the notes. Yeah, major financial balancing resources here, okay, between the self and yourself. We have someone who is hard at work and they're studying, maybe going back to school to help you with these resources here. This is someone who is like an apprentice, and they are focusing on the details. Okay, so this week, maybe go back and learn something. Take your time, focus on the details of it, study it, be the apprentice, really practice your craft is what you get here as well. Okay, and yes, I hope that resonated. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Libras, happy Libra season. Let's get into your astrology. I'm reading text messages from my kid. Sorry, as I'm doing this. Okay, so Libra, let's get to you, Libra risings. And of course, everything's in the first house for you guys. It's opposing. So yourself, your identity, who you are as a person. It's opposing that seventh house of relationships and like yourself in relationships. And you are Libra, so you have some strong relationships or harmony or law situations of balance and fairness going on as your whole life, because you have Libra placements, but it's at the it's really in the forefront right now, okay? Because it's you and your identity in the sign of Libra opposing the North Node in the Libra house, okay? If that makes sense, right here. Also, your Chiron, the Chiron is in there, and it's all about the self and you healing yourself in this year with these placements, okay? And then it's going to conjunct here in the first house, your identity and relationships, okay? So be aware of that, and you know this. Now, Mercury is going to skedaddle over here in the sign of Virgo in that second house, Libra. And your thoughts around financial matters, possessions, and self-worth. You might be more engaged in deep financial analysis and research because it's in the sign of Capricorn. In the sign of Scorpio. So it's all about researching. Communication may impact your income and values. Okay. So be aware of that. And let's see what else we have here. Balance your harmonious relationships with asserting your individuality and independence. The transit can bring intense power struggles related to personal identity and self-expression. You may have a strong need to for control and how you present yourself in the world. Okay. What else? Yes, that's what we have because it's squaring that fourth house, Pluto, and there's change in your home environment or relationships with your mom, parents where you feel safe. There's some bossness here in that. So I wonder how that affected you personally. But yeah, father figures in the home, father figures in safety is squaring yourself in relationships. Okay. So that's what we get. Again, I wasn't showing. Sorry, I thought you were looking at it, but all these placements here are squaring the father. This is the home. Pluto is in there in the structure, and then it's opposing relationships. Major relationship things here, major relationships with safety and home. That's squaring. All this is yourself and identity, and in the sign of relationships, which is all about you. Opposing the self in the house of relationships. Okay. And then remember this sign, Mercury, is going to move over here in the house of resources. Okay. So that is what you get. Let me pull some cards for you guys. Okay. So a card just wanted to jump out. We have two. So we have resting. It's time to rest your mind and your brain because it's on steroids. All this Libra-ness for you. Major time to rest. Rest your mind, rest your tongue. Meditate is what I would get from this. Journal is what I would get for this. If you feel the need to share, maybe it's not the time to share. Venus for you is in the 12th house. So this is someone who is not socializing. They're socializing within. Okay. Also, we have the world. There's a culmination. There's an ending, almost like a graduation. But resting when it comes to the world, resting when it comes to you being out. Now, it is Libra season. So yeah, there's probably been a lot of socializing, but now it's time for you to rest when it comes to the internet, time for you to rest when it comes to being out in the world. Okay. Seek solitude, socialize with yourself. All right. I hope that resonated. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Scorpio placements. Hello, welcome to your horoscopes. Now we have Mercury in. Let me pull up your chart. Scorpio. Okay, so everything's in the 12th house for you guys. So it's all about seeking solitude and loneliness. Maybe there's some insecurity here, insecurity in relationships. There's some secrets in relationships, something hidden here. And that's what you have. Now that is opposing all this energy here of day-to-day activities and sticking to a routine and being healthy. Also, be dealing with pets and analyzing things also because Virgo is very analytical, improvement, refinement. Okay, so seeking solitude with yourself and relationships and refinement and breaking it down for everyday activity. Also, it could be the first for you in some things because you're dealing with Aries, really about the self. Okay, what else do we have? These two are going to be conjunct, I think, in 24 degrees. So it's really about releasing some things in relationships, and maybe it will be done in the secret or it'll be done privately, inside where people can't see it because you were on the stage and now you're not. So things are hidden. Now this beautiful Mercury is going to be in the house of Scorpio because it's about to be Scorpio season, and all this is going to be in the forefront for you. It's going to be out. Mercury in the first house is going to be intense focus on self-image and identity. Communication is going to be deep and passionate for you. You may be more secretive or selective about what you reveal, but something will be revealed when it comes to communication. I keep doing that, not showing you guys. I keep thinking I'm pressing it, but something's going to be revealed. So all this stuff that is very secretive in this house is Mercury is going here. All these things are going to be in the forefront, especially during Scorpio season, and it's squaring your Pluto. Pluto is in the third house of communication. So there's a transformation in communication and written things. There's a transformation in your community, your siblings. Early education is also represents an authority, father, time, or like a death of it, okay, of a community, or moving communities too, okay, or the way you drive your day-to-day activities. All this is going to be squaring this in secret, and it's opposing your health and everyday. Also, this is day-to-day routines too. Day-to-day routines. So that'll be big for you. What else? And like I said, everything's moving in this first house. Okay. So self-image and stuff is be more intense for you guys. Now let me pull some cards for you guys, Scorpios. We have the Knight of Swords. So the energy of moving fast in thoughts and clarity, really thinking, really reading, really communicating, especially because that Scorpio is going to be in a sign of Scorpio. And we have the Nine of Wands. This is persevering. You see the person has on bandages, but you need to persevere, maybe especially when that square happens in Pluto, because Pluto is your ruling planet. So if it's squaring something, you may feel it stronger, maybe when it comes to authority, but don't be afraid to communicate. And even yes, just communicate. It's a sign of moving fast too, communicating in a fast way, thinking in a fast way. Also, we have the 10 of Wands. Anytime you have a 10, it's the end of a journey, the beginning of another. The beginning of a journey and infinite possibilities is going to happen. Now, this sign also is like a lot of baggage. You're holding on to a lot. So you want to persevere. You want to stay strong, even though you may be bandaged up physically or emotionally. But stay strong because you have a lot of weight that you are carrying physically, mentally, emotionally, and it's passionate, okay, because this is fire energy. It's passionate. There's a lot of drive there, and it's going to be the end of this journey because you are about to have Scorpio season. It's very positive for you guys. We'll get into the transits with that. But this is a key card for you guys. I know the other things are about persevering and a lot of baggage, but I think how you handle that is through communication and through your words and a lot of insight and clarity, especially when that Cazimi happens. Okay. I hope that resonated with you guys. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Now, hello, all of my Sagittarius risings. Welcome to your reading. Let's get on to it. Now, we have everything in 11th house. For me, I'm a Sagittarius rising. Let me make sure you guys can see the chart. Okay. Again, I was going to do it again. So there is a lot of things with hopes and dreams with your future here. Your South Node is the past. Okay. So when you have it conjunct your South Node, it's about and opposing a North Node. Okay. Which the North Node is in the 5th house. And the 5th house is all about self-expression, creativity, right? I find myself being more creative this year with this placement. So creative expression, romantic relationships, it may be challenging for you, okay? And you need to have a balance and have harmony between the self, which is your personal life, that South Node, and the independent, assertive approach and self-expression and creativity with that North Node there, okay? And this is all in relationships and harmony and balance. And this also be dealing with technology. I find when I have placements in here, it's dealing with technology, the future, humanitarian, social, more social than ever with this and socializing. I definitely personally get a lot of invitations and being with the world, the collective, more in an intimate relationship. So, for example, I went to a football game, a professional football, NFL football game, concerts. Just being with the collective is what I'm trying to say. Being outside and being with the collective. Also, social groups like book clubs or fraternities or something like that is what you get. Networking, right? Is what you get with this. And then it's opposing all this energy here, the healer of being creative and doing something for the first time with creativity also. Okay. So what else do we have for my Sagittarius rising? This transit may lead to confrontations and transformations. Okay, because you have this Pluto and there is some change in your resources and the power of your resources, what you deem as a resource. Okay. If your home is a resource, there's some change in that. And then there's the square happening with Mercury and the square happening with the sun in the sign of Libra in this 11th house. So, I mean, we haven't had it yet, but I could see it possibly with technology and resources. Okay. Challenges with technology and resources, like how you are with relationships. If you're someone who FaceTimes someone, it could be some challenge here, right? And maybe the power that be turned it off. Okay. It could be like whoever's in charge of these resources, and there needs to be a change there. Oh, Mercury is going to go in your 12th house and a sign of Scorpio. Wow, that's major, major intuition for you guys. So really go ahead and tap into your intuition, really look into your dreams. Water and water, very strong there. Deep, intuitive, the subconscious thinking, psychology, metaphysics, all working behind the scenes with this placement. Okay. I find it to be very positive, Sagittarius. I mean, I love water placement. So I'm very intuitive. Also thinking lack is what you get in that. So be careful of when the transits get a little negative aspects, like the squares are opposing, that you are not thinking negative or lack. Okay. Now let me pull some cards for you guys. And we have the Nine of Swords. So yeah, nightmares could happen. Be aware of that. Also, remember I talked about that Mercury with the square. Be aware of nightmares or thinking too dark or too negative. Let's see what we can do for that. Okay, how to not think negative. Sagittarius risings who love to be very optimistic. Ooh, it's all about giving here. The cup's not giving. This is the pentacles, but this is all about looking into your past and really being nostalgic here. Okay, so really looking into your past, being very nostalgic. So when you have the nightmares and the fears, go back into your safe space and something from your past. Also, yeah, tradition. So this is all about the past, right? So having your past help you in your future. Let's see what that south node is again for you guys. Yeah, the south node is that is dealing with your past. So it could be something with your past and how you socialize. Okay, because it's dealing with that 11th house. So go ahead and look at your past and your traditions. Something for your past will help you get rid of these fears and anxieties. Okay, I hope that resonated. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Capricorn placements. Let's get into your chart here. Let me pull it up. Okay, so you have all this stuff in the 10th house, Capricorns. Wow, it's all about your reputations, your long-term careers, your father figures, all that, and relationships. So how are you in relationships with are fairness or just, right? Or is some harmony or balance, maybe for you Capricorns, especially with your careers and long-term goals. Now you have that, and then it's opposing this energy here, the home and where you feel safe, and legacy, major legacy, healing in this energy too of your home and your safety, or your mom. Father versus mother is definitely what you get with this too. That could be a conflict when that's opposing. This conjunct here, major energy of letting go, shining a bright light of letting go something when it comes to your public image and relationships. Okay, let me see what else here. Oh, we have the squaring. So this is squaring the first house, which is your identity. Yeah, something of power with your identity, your image, your ego is squaring your relationships and your public image. So identity and public image will be squaring here. And remember, Mercury is going to be squaring at as not just your ego. One day the sun, next day Mercury, or vice versa. I forgot which one comes first. Then Mercury is going to enter that 11th house of future, hopes and dreams, socializing. All that's going to enter that 11th house and in the sign of Scorpio. So really getting deep and investigating and researching technology, or the future, are really getting deep conversations about the future and your hopes and dreams. Okay, are socializing and networking as well. Okay, now let me put some cards for you guys. Capricorns placements. Okay, Capricorns. Ooh, you guys gonna be socializing for real. Yeah, you're going to be hanging out with girlfriends. You're going to be socializing. Maybe when that Mercury hits that Scorpio energy, socializing with females, socializing with friends. Let's see what we have at the bottom, because we are dealing with Scorpio and Pluto. So let's see what's hidden. So it looks like there's some pain, there's some backstabbing that happened for you guys. Maybe it was something with your safety because of that fourth house, opposing, or something with that first house, that ego. Okay. But when you have this issue, when you feel like you've been stabbed in the back, you could be stabbed in the back from friends, actually. And it would be secretly happening. Let me see. Let me see what cards we have. We have several cards that came up. So when this happens, if this was to happen for you, um, this socializing with girlfriends and it stabs you in the back, it hurts you with the words, or maybe you're thinking that, then try to multitask. Balance is more what I would get. Balance, because we are dealing with that Libra. Balance the energy of the negative and positive. Researching is what you get. No, not researching, expanding. So expanding the balancing, expanding, balancing, and harmony. Here is someone who is overly emotional and someone who's not using their words. Okay. So you want to research and you want to find balance, because you're not using your words, you're not having a clarity, you're not communicating very well, and you can be over emotional. When you have those things, it looks like the socializing of friends, they may hurt you. You may have cloudy judgment, but there needs to be some expansion, maybe moving on to some new friends and balancing work and friendships. I hope that makes sense, because sorry about that. The friendships could bring some backstabbing to you, but it's the end of the journey on to the new. And when you get to the new, there could be this balancing act of multitasking, maybe having multiple streams and focusing on that and really moving on, expanding to the world. Okay. Going on a new journey. Okay. I hope that resonated. I hope that makes sense for you, Capricorns. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Aquarius. Let me pull the cards away for Capricorns. And let's do your reading for horoscopes. And let me pull up your chart here. Okay, Aquarius, you have a lot of placements in this ninth house, which is about philosophy, world travel, okay? Things that are not like in your culture kind of thing. Religion also could be dealing with some law here, right? Law and relationships. South Node is about releasing something from your past, dealing with those things that I just said. And then it's going to be opposing, Mercury and the Sun will be opposing things that are dealing with your community and yourself, your siblings and yourself. Opposing the relationships are law here and self. This is also publish and writing. So writing a book and publishing a book, that could be opposing each other. Now, remember, you have some squaring aspects happening here with Pluto. And Pluto's in a 12th house of secrets. Ooh, something hidden. Lack of something deep and dark. I wouldn't say dark. Well, yeah, we could say dark because we're dealing with Pluto, but it's hidden, double hidden with Pluto and in the 12th house. And there's going to be some squaring here. So it could be like some type of addiction too, could be challenging you here, and challenging between these energies, right? Let me see what we have here. Power struggles and beliefs with education and travel. There could be some power struggles in your spiritual world as well. You may experience power struggles with higher education, because this energy is higher education. Harmony with the South Node, with the independent, and expansion with the North Node. What else? Because this is very expensive and worldly. Okay. Mercury is going to enter your 10th house in Scorpio. So the 10th house is all about your public image and your reputation and power. Okay. So you're going to really do a deep dive and research more of this energy of your public image, of your career, of your long-term goals. All that will be more deep. Okay. Let's pull some cards for you guys. Let's see what the tarot has for you this week and your Mercury placement. There's going to be some foundation happening, a sense of community. And I know we're dealing with some third house energy here. Yeah. Okay. So there's some foundations and community happening here. And let's see. And the decision, you're torn between a decision of deciding you want to let faith just happen, trust God in the universe. There's no major arcana here. So this is not going to be a major thing for you this week, or maybe the Scorpio and Mercury and Scorpio is not going to be that huge. It's not going to affect you, but this is what it's saying. To communicate the community, the home, the marriage, the celebration of marriage, the celebration of something is going to be so hard for you to decide, but you want to just let faith run its course. Let it just, decide on its own. You don't have to make the decision. Let it decide on your own when it comes to your community, your safety, your structure, your family. What else does this have? Marriage, a wedding. It could be like a celebration of some sort. Okay. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Pisces, welcome to your horoscopes. Let me pull up your chart. We have for the Pisces everything in this 8th house of hidden and shared resources, psychology, and releasing something psychologically could happen here because you have that is going to be conjunct, and then this is going to be opposing some resources, the self and resources, right? So resources versus on your own, especially on your own with this Aries, versus sharing the resources, because this is all about relationships and sharing it. So that could be happening for all of my Pisces placements. Now, this is going to be squaring in its 11th house, and there's some change in your networking, your socializing, your clubs of some sort, how you are with the future, the government and your future, your hopes and dreams in the government, or some type of power, controlling power. Here in that 11th house, it's going to challenge your ego, your identity, your way of thinking and communication. And maybe something with law here, something with law and government squaring here, with the future or with your joint ventures, okay? Joint income. All right, let me pull some tarot for here. I didn't talk about actually that your Mercury is going in a sign of Scorpio in the 9th house. So this could be like a new way of thinking and philosophy, okay? Spiritual ideas, profound philosophy, really researching philosophy and worldly things, communication, and traveling, really going deep into researching traveling, world traveling, higher education, legal matters is what you get with that placements, and really getting deep in legal matters and seeking deep truths. It's great placement because you're going to really researching something big, something very expensive with that. Remember the highs and lows of that, and the aspects are going to vary with that placement. So let me pull some cards for you, Pisces. And we have the King of Pentacles. So this is someone who's very practical, especially with their money and their resources. Someone who's going to give great advice that's very stable and grounded. Also, you could be an earth sign, or you could be hanging out with a man who is going to give you earth energy. So it could be Capricorn, a Virgo, or a Taurus. Someone who really cares about their resources, really good with money, and a male figure in that aspect, right? Oh, this is the 9 of Cups. It's positive. It's wishful thinking. Also, someone who's very content. Like, look at all the things I have. Could be a little boastful. So be aware of that, of being boastful when it comes to your resources. Maybe when you're communicating or dealing with someone else and resources. Let me look in how it connects to. You know what? Let me see how it connects. We'll pull this bottom card here because we're dealing with Pluto and Scorpio energy. How it connects to your. How it connects to your chart is that there's abundance with family, there's abundance with love. Okay, you do have abundance in this 3rd house of community in your neighborhood, and some unexpected things with your community and neighborhood. I'm looking at your chart here. Let me show you. You do have some abundance here, but it looks very positive with this 10 of ending with some resources. not resources, with some family and love. And it's got to be with this Libra energy here. So family and love here. Okay. I'm noticing all this energy, this Pisces energy of Saturn, all that is in your first house. So, hope you're okay health wise, Saturn, and really thinking of intuitively here when it comes to, I'm sorry, now I'm getting deeper than the aspects of what we have here, but yeah, but know that there's an end of a journey, but it's very positive when it comes to your love and family. When I pull this card, I think of major love. Okay. So how is it related to your chart? It seems like you guys are gonna really love this Scorpio energy. These challenges, these aspects that happen, it'll work out for you in the long run because everything's content, everything's very positive, especially with the water Pisces. Very abundant and very whole. Also the beginning of an ending of a journey and starting a new and having infinite possibilities with these new journeys. Okay. Stick to some grounded energy with that. All right. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Now, my video cut off in the middle. I hope I have all the transits. If I don't, I will repost it and bring it back up. I will see you guys next time. Bye.